That's right, you know what you did, you know what button you pressed, you know what website you went to. www.mmbpradio.com. I am the man that you all know and love, E. Digger, and you're listening to the Charm City Direct Radio Show, only on the station where music must be played.
Wow! All right, today.
That was weak, Mike.
Really? It really was?
That was weak.
I might need to turn my mic up or something.
So we're going to do it again, Mike.
You want me to do it again?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
Charm City Direct Radio, on the station where music must be played.
Live!
There's something wrong with your mic?
No, that's how I've been doing it. That's how I've been doing it. And my name is not Mike.
Oh, Mumbles.
Yes, no. No.
Mike Mumbles.
No, my name is Mr. Menudo. Yeah. That's what my name is.
DJ Mike Mumbles, the man who did it first. I don't know Mike Menudo.
I didn't say Mike Menudo. I said Mr. Menudo. I'm on wrestling.
As always, thank you to my listeners, thank you to my supporters. Always continue to support, continue to listen. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And joining me in the studio, my man, Dr. Ahmed Royalty from Royalty StagePlays.
Royalty
StagePlays.
Yes.
It's an honor to have you on the show, brother.
Thank you.
Been trying to keep up with you,
Okay.
seeing what you're doing. You're doing a lot of positive things here in the Baltimore community, Baltimore area.
Thank you.
And when you came down, I said, I know you.
Yes.
Tell them where we know you from.
Well, let me first say that it is an honor to be able to have the privilege to do your radio show today. I want to secondarily give a quick acknowledgement to my cast, both Keita Hollywood, who is present today, Joe Barry, Whitney C., Ryan Harris, and Jan Rock Maven. These are some of the people that are part of an extraordinary production that I'll be quickly talking about in a few minutes.
Okay.
But I believe that we went to high school.
Yes, we did.
Did we graduate without mentioning the year? Did we graduate together?
No, you probably graduated before me.
Okay.
And I just need to say this.
Yes.
You was a great inspiration to me. And I'm going to tell you why. You was different. You did not care about what other people thought about you.
Thank you.
You wore your hair different, your clothes. You made your clothes,
Yes.
by the way.
From scratch.
I don't know if you still do that.
Yes, I've been tailoring since I was 6 years old.
Perfect.
Yeah, a master tailor, yeah.
And I don't know if you remember me, man. It was me and my god brother, Donnie. And we will always ask you, man, make me a coat, make me a pair of pants. We was young.
Okay.
And Douglas High School, man.
Yes.
But I really looked up to you. There was a lot of people there. We young, 9th grade, 10th grade. But you stood out. Your high top. I tried to do the coins. I couldn't do it. You had dollars in your hair, man.
Yeah, I used to do it.
I couldn't do it. But I really looked up to you because of your individuality.
Thank you, sir. And let me give your listeners a quick picture of that year. It was 19 blah, 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 blah. And during that time, this was before FUBU existed. This is before Fat Farm existed.
Yes.
This is before Sean John.
Yes.
You walk over into Mondawmin Mall, any mall, and there were actually no black designers.
None.
Carl Canal was just getting on the scene at some point.
Yes.
What you had for purchase was Sassoon, Jordache, Calvin Klein, and etc. I came from a family of tailoring. So my grandmother and my grandfather, who were master seamsters, they taught me how to sew. My mother
Awesome.
did not have the capital to purchase me the necessary school clothes. And again, listeners, this is during a time when you didn't have uniform, where if you didn't come to school, or if you came to school with the same thing on, you was definitely going to
Cracked on.
You know, so I would
Yes.
take material and make my own clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the thrift store that existed on Belvedere and Park Heights. Take the labels, the Calvin Klein labels off.
Wow.
Sew them on the clothes that I made because
Wow.
I didn't want nobody knowing that I made the clothes.
Okay.
But
okay.
what happened was that it was a young lady, and and technically I'm not gonna mention her name, Monique Altman.
I like how you
Yes,
said that.
who snitched on me, said no, he's actually making these clothes.
Oh man, it's always a snitch. Man.
Yeah, and she said he's actually making these clothes. They're not really Calvin Klein, but people thought they were because I sold them on there.
If you would have never told me now,
Yes.
I didn't know.
Yeah. But see, again, there was no other guys making their own clothes.
Exactly.
And I came from a self-reliant family, an Islamic family who believed in doing for self. And at that time, it was, you don't go to someone to get your hair cut, you cut your own hair.
Okay.
So in that time, I was hustling the haircuts.
I didn't know you was doing a haircut.
Yeah, I did my
Well,
own hair.
you did your own hair.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did my own
okay.
hair, and there was quite a few people that came under my mentorship with that are definitely on the scene now.
Okay.
My colleague and Kia Johnson, who's now in charge of Honey Purple concerts. I don't know if you remember Kia.
The name sounds familiar.
Yeah, Kia Johnson. He's coming up now. He has. And quick shout out to Kia Johnson, who has the Honey Purple concerts now. You can go on Facebook. Also, that was Eric Nelson, who's now Port MC.
Okay.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, who came under my mentorship as well.
Okay.
And so I was cutting all those guys' hair, making everybody's outfit.
Wow.
Doing my own jewelry, and got expelled on the first day of school. Got kicked out.
I remember that.
Yeah, you remember that?
Miss
Was a big,
Owens.
yes, that was a big deal. It was on the news and everything.
Stop playing.
Yeah,
I remember
and,
that.
and what happened was that she had a policy that she did not want people making their own clothes. She and all this, and so my dad went down to school board. Nonetheless, I wound up getting back admitted in. She said, the school board said, as long as he can make a zipper on his pants, and he can get back in.
Because at the time you wasn't making zippers.
No, I was just making the pants.
Yeah.
And I was making because at the time it was the kente cloth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hat, shirt, and all that. And I was making.
But I didn't know that Miss Owens.
Yeah, Miss Owens, right?
Miss Owens.
Yeah.
It's out now. I'm sorry. Miss Owens.
Oh,
she went to my church.
Oh, we friends. We friends now.
She goes to my church.
Yeah, we friends now.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, tell her I said hello.
I show. Shout out to Miss Owens.
Tell her I said I appreciate that. It got me in the newspaper, and and it got me to say, hey, I'm on the right track.
Man, I didn't know
Yeah.
it escalated.
Yeah,
like
so,
that.
and I'm still promoting that. Actually, that mindset now has converted itself into a movement called F the N Click.
Yes, and we
Because-
going to definitely talk about that.
So
because
at your direction, I'd love to get into that.
yeah, but
Yeah, well,
means.
F the N Click is pretty much, I was the N Click, as you just verified at that time. And there was a person that was the nerd.
yes,
And my clique during that time, which was Kid Johnson and Sean, who was on the football team, etc., I let the nerd in,
okay,
and they was like, "Hey, what are you doing? You can't let the nerd in."
okay.
And because you're like your homecoming king, you're valedictorian, you voted most popular and most likely to succeed,
True.
etc., and so me having him taking out the time for the nerd, so-called, cost me my friendships with my so-called N clique. And I said, well, after N clique, the brother is a good brother, and
Wow. Okay.
and without mentioning no names, who the person is, but I will say, now he's this big deal, and he doesn't necessarily acknowledge it in that way. That but even that is a lesson too, because I've learned you got to be careful who you help. Nonetheless, here we are, XYZ years later,
Okay.
and I have a stage production
Okay.
who consists of mostly poets,
Okay.
and there was a particular person who did not share or felt some kind of way about me having certain poets in,
Okay.
and saying, well, hey, you have this poetry event and these people are not going through us in order to be features, and you're making them features.
Okay.
And then I wound up having the same conversation 20-something years later, saying, hey, after NCLEC, nobody has to go through you.
It's like a flashback.
People have a right to walk into, exercise their identity,
Exactly.
and fulfill their individual purpose, develop their gift without the hierarchy of, hey, you have to be like Jay-Z, you have to be like your cousin, you have to be like your brother, you have to. So it's this clique that's in every genre of our life. If you go to work, there's a clique there that says if you don't kiss their butt, you don't get the raise, you don't get the extra 15-minute break. There's a clique in your church.
Yes.
If
Yes.
you don't go with them, then they'll make it hostile for you, where you'll just go ahead and fall out of church.
Okay.
There's a clique in poetry that says, hey, if you're not in with this clique, then even though you signed the open mic list, we won't even let you on the stage. We act like your name is not there. There's a clique, in every area of your life. And so after NCLEC also represents forgive them, forget them, and be free of them.
Okay.
That they are the 3 F's: forgive, forget them, and be free of them. And just do you.
And after NCLEC.
Yes. So what is that now? That's also a music group that I developed. It's an event that's coming up.
Okay.
And it's also a t-shirt line. And by the way, big shout out to Pastor Briggs, who purchased 36 after NCLEC, the version of forgive and forget and be free of them.
Okay.
After NCLEC at church.
Shout out to
Pastor Briggs. Yes, Pastor Briggs. Thank you very much, at Harvest Baptist Church.
Okay.
And so yeah, I appreciate him doing that. He's having me also come back and speak, and we also going to take the stage play there as well. Yeah, because he acknowledged that there are cliques at church that are solely responsible for lack of attendance in church, and also responsible for the hostile environment that puts people in church out.
Phenomenal.
Yes.
Phenomenal.
So we're going to celebrate everybody's individuality.
Yes.
We're going to celebrate everybody's individual fingerprints, and we're going to say, hey, you don't have to be like such and such in order. You can be yourself without the consequence. So the play, Royalty Stage Plays. The play is entitled "I May Be Homeless, But I Can Dance."
But I can dance.
Yes.
And please talk about that, because actually you going step by step with my question.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
I love the title, and actually everybody that I've talked to, one, let's go back. Let's after NCLEC,
Yes.
people thought I was cussing at them, and
Yes.
I said it wasn't that extreme.
No.
That it had a purpose, it had a meaning.
Right.
So once I told them about it, they
Yes.
felt a little better, because everybody thought I was cussing at them.
Yes.
But
There's 3 versions. There's the street version
okay,
for your hip hoppers.
okay,
And then there's the church version, which we would say the contemporary version. Forgive them, forget them, and then be free of them. And that's what F, the NCLEC, represents. F meaning free,
free.
be free of them, forget them, and forgive them.
Yes.
And then forgive the NCLEC and click with your purpose. And so that says values, because what we're doing is we're navigating people back to individuality and self-evolution, instead of getting up and trying to act like everybody else.
Yeah.
And so, no, that's the street version.
Okay.
That part of it all. But the higher version of it is forgive them, forget them, and then be free of them. And so the church version says, after In Click, I don't want to fit in, I just want to praise the Lord.
Wow.
Then we have after In Click, In My Family.
Okay.
Forgive them, forget them, because they not helping me pay my bills anyway. That's what it says. And then you have after In Click, At Work. It says forgive them, forget them. I'm going to do my job and then I'm going to go home. That's what it says. And then you have after In Click, at school. Forgive them, forget them, and then go get your diploma.
Wow.
Because you have an In Click everywhere you go, and people are now struggling with just being themselves. And so we want, after In Click, it's not just a music group, it's not just a t-shirt line, it's not just an event, it's also a mindset. It's an antibiotic that I would appreciate everyone allowing themselves to be contaminated by, because it gets rid of the germ of I gotta go along and get along, and just because, you know, let me just start itching for nothing and scratching for nothing because everybody else is doing it, you know. So and quickly on the streets, this is very, very mandatory because and I say this in a non-judgmental way, but it's been systematically set up where everybody is dressing just alike.
Yes.
And as you just testified, I've always represented individuality, and it takes and I make no apologies for it, and I'm trying to transfer that kind of energy and trying to transfer that kind of mindset even to this day.
And you know,
you poured into my spirit, just recognize it.
Yeah.
I'm overwhelmed that you recognize that. I appreciate that.
I was online, I was doing research, and I said, I know this brother from somewhere.
Yeah.
And what got me was the high top.
Yeah, the high top was
okay,
hard.
we older, you know, like big bald head. And I said, I know him from somewhere, so I went to your friends.
Okay.
And a couple of your mutual friends, 11 of them, I said, you went to that's Ahmed.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
But the one thing I can honestly say, I know I'm sounding like a broken record, was your individuality, man. And that would gave me and my god brother, hey, we don't need to dress like y'all. We don't need to act like y'all. We're going to be ourselves.
Thank you.
This is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
All because of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I need to say this. I apologize that Troy Anthony, LOL with Troy Anthony, will not be on the show. He is going through family issues right now, so I just pray for his family right now and hope that the person who is ill gets well, and look forward to seeing and hearing Troy Anthony on the show at a later time. But live in the studio today, we have Dr. Ahmed. I'm horrible with names, brother. Ahmed Royalty.
Yes. And
he is here to talk about what he is doing in the Baltimore community, right here on the Charm City Direct Radio Show, on the station where music must be played. Caught you off guard.
I caught you off guard. I was on point.
You never. Wasn't
I was on point.
He wasn't on point. Hey, we're gonna go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, more of Dr. Ahmed Royalty right here on the Charm City Direct Radio Show on the station where music must be played.